morning, everybody. I'm Kate Sorsted, Weinberg Foundation Program Director for Libraries, Northeastern Pennsylvania, and Veterans Grants. Thank you for joining us today. This is another special occasion for the Foundation and its many wonderful partners in the Baltimore Elementary and Middle School Library Project. Of course, we just call it the Library Project. Dr. Seuss once brilliantly said, "Oh, the places you'll go." When this effort started 6 years ago this month, we could not have imagined how right he would be. Today marks the latest chapter in a story that shows what can happen when a group of innovative and committed individuals cross sectors and come together to impact the lives of Baltimore City students. In September 2012, we celebrated the opening of the very first Library Project schools, Thomas Johnson Elementary Middle, Moravia Park Elementary, and Southwest Baltimore Charter. It may have been new territory for all of us, but the dynamic leadership at each of these schools truly embraced the project. The following year, we dedicated 2 more school libraries, at Arlington Elementary Middle and at the historic Samuel Coleridge Taylor Elementary. While the staff at these schools may have had a glimpse of what it meant to be a library project site thanks to year 1, we still worked hard to wow them. In 2014, 4 more schools joined the Library Project family. Henderson Hopkins, Morrill Park Elementary Middle, Hartford Heights Elementary, and Windsor Hills Elementary Middle. With 9 spaces open, the Library Project also celebrated its first opportunity to keep the libraries open year-round through the addition of summer reads. In year 4, the Library Project welcomed the Commodore John Rogers School as well as Westport Academy Elementary Middle School. And last year, George Washington Elementary and Hamden Elementary Middle became the 12th and 13th schools completed as part of this incredible initiative. Fall of 2017 marks the 6th year of the Library Project and the opening of Francis Scott Key Elementary Middle's transformed space. With that grand opening, 14 brand new, well-equipped, well-staffed elementary and middle school libraries are serving more than 6,000 Baltimore City students and their families. That number represents approximately 10% of the total number of students, pre-kindergarten through grade 8, in all of Baltimore City's public schools. Over the last 6 years, our library family has certainly grown, and we could not be more excited for the incredible partners which have made this possible. But we aren't done yet. In case you missed it, we can talk about it. In case you missed it just now, let me say it one more time because it is truly amazing. Today at Francis Scott Key Elementary Middle School, we celebrate the opening of our 14th library. In 2011, Rachel Monroe, our president and CEO, and others at the foundation dreamed of engaging numerous partners in a long-term commitment to increase academic achievement in Baltimore City in a very specific, focused way. That dream took the shape of the Baltimore Elementary and Middle School Library Project. The project involves more than 30 partners and will create as many as 24 of these inspirational spaces all across Baltimore over the coming years. The Weinberg Foundation has committed $10 million of the total $30 million project investment and continues to seek new and innovative partnerships every year to continue this project and give students the tools to do incredible things. As you heard us say over the last 6 years, the Library Project works with Baltimore City Public Schools to design, build, equip, and staff new or renovated libraries in selected schools where existing public funds can be leveraged. However, the true essence of this project is so much more than that. We invest in these schools because we believe in the children who enter them, and we believe they truly deserve the world. We are so grateful and fortunate for such broad and strong support of this effort. I can truly say that all of this happened as a direct result of the dedication and incredible hard work of dozens of individuals, many of whom are in this room today. To each of you, I deeply and truly say thank you. Thank you for believing in our students, and thank you for knowing that they are destined for great things and for supporting their dreams in so many tangible ways. Now, I'd like to recognize some of our other speakers. Please join me in welcoming Weinberg Foundation President and CEO, Rachel Garbeau-Monroe. Weinberg Foundation Program Officer, Rachel Duden. Baltimore City Mayor, Catherine Pugh. Baltimore City Public Schools CEO, Dr. Sonia Santalese. And co-PTO President, Jennifer Katz, who will be joined by two students later in the program. We are also honored to have with us today a number of distinguished guests, including other elected officials or their representatives. Maryland State Senator Bill Ferguson, Maryland State Delegate Brooke Learman, Baltimore City Councilman Eric Costello, representing the Office of Governor Hogan, Kiefer Mitchell, representing U.S. Senator Ben Cardin, Renee Cohen, Baltimore Regional Director to Senator Chris Van Hollen, Chuck Connor III. We would also like to welcome members of the Baltimore City School Board who are in attendance, as well as other elected officials or their representatives who are here this morning. We invite you to stand and identify yourself so that we may all recognize you for your ongoing and important contributions to this effort. For anyone who has spoken to me personally about libraries, you may have been able to tell that it has been my honor to be part of this initiative. And I truly believe in the power of these spaces. With that said, none of it would be possible without the vision and contagious passion of our next speaker. Please welcome the person who got this project going 6 amazing years ago, Weinberg Foundation President and CEO, Rachel Monroe.
I think it's fair to say we all know and we all love working with Kate. And this is a project of love for her, and we all sort of consider each of these 14 libraries our babies. So you're giving birth for the 14th time today. God help you. It is an understatement to say how much Kate has had and has on her plate. Beginning this project 6 years ago as the Foundation's first intern, we made the very smart decision not to let her leave and have promoted her I don't know how many times since then. She is currently our program director, not only for libraries, but also for Northeastern Pennsylvania and for our veterans portfolio, which is relatively new and growing in importance. And as the Foundation continues to grow that portfolio, and as Kate engages even more deeply in grant making for Northeast Pennsylvania, we felt it was time for her to have an opportunity to focus more deeply in those two areas and pass the baton. Kate is a superb colleague, and to be very clear, none of these library projects would have happened without her, period, the end. Of the $10 million Weinberg investment in these $30 million in libraries, $6.5 million has been spent to date, and Kate has tracked every penny of that. She has also attended to every detail: design, construction, grand openings, partnerships, follow-up support, you name it. Now, people make fun of me a lot, and it's well-deserved, for how many emails I send. But I think it's very honest to also say that Kate kills me and wins in that category. She has gained the trust of the Foundation, of the more than 30 partners, and certainly from me. Today, we're passing the baton and giving Kate the passion and energy that she has to be dedicated to our veterans' work and to our work in Northeast Pennsylvania. And to be clear, annually, those two budgets are roughly $8 million in grants a year. So if you're wondering what Kate is going to do, God willing, over the next 5 years at the Weinberg Foundation, she will be making $40 million in grant recommendations. So to pass the baton, I not only need to thank Kate, but introduce you to who's going to lead this agenda for us moving forward. In her current role as Program Associate for Small Grants and General Community Support, Rachel Duden, or Duden as we like to call her, has demonstrated her ability to work with the community and build partnerships. She also brings incredible energy, a great sense of humor, and most importantly, a passion for education to her work. In addition to her leadership, Lizelle Harry will continue to work in her current role with the project. And Lizelle, we're very grateful to you wherever you are for all of the great work that you have been doing. This initiative continues to take shape in beautiful and powerful ways. Thank you all for being here, for being patient for us to get started this morning, and for not only believing, but also for doing. I can only hope that all of these new libraries, that all they represent in their communities, bring you the same joy and the same sense of accomplishment I feel this morning. So please join me first in thanking Kate for her incredible work. We are forever grateful to you, and this is just the next phase of your journey of professional development at Weinberg. She's not going anywhere, and we thank you very, very much. And please join me in welcoming Rachel Duden, or Duden.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Good. Me too. I'm excited. So first of all, I want to go off script for a second, so Craig Demchak, don't kill me, but I just want to echo everything that Rachel just said about Kate. She's a great colleague, and I wouldn't be able to take over this role if Kate wasn't also at the foundation to help me when I have questions about, who do I call when the light bulbs go out. So very excited to do this, but really want to thank Kate again. So one more round of applause for Kate. So as Kate mentioned, more than 30 partners have helped to make the library project what it is today. Time does not allow us to name each partner individually, but on the video screens to my right and to my left, you can see the logos of all of our library project partners, and on a wonderful sign that we have outside these doors, this project wouldn't happen without you. In addition, you can recognize our advisory members and school partners because they are wearing one of these pins, one of these very cool library pins. The 14 new libraries completed through this project truly stand as testaments to the power of broad-based community collaboration. We have always intended that these spaces, created as part of the library project, would engage the entire family and community more directly in the schools through partnerships and extracurricular programs. One of the many ways we do this is through our relationships with the Enoch Pratt Free Library with our Parents' Place, as well as with the Maryland Food Bank, who provide backpacks for our students on the weekends and on-site and mobile food deliveries to our schools. The food bank will be here in November, right before Thanksgiving. So to each of our amazing library project partners, we say again, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. So as you can see, these libraries are beautiful. They're vibrant, they are warm, they are welcoming, they have the latest technology and the coolest furniture. I saw a bunch of students back there over by the blinds hanging out in the parent chairs. I hope you guys enjoy those while the library is still not open for your parents. And they have double the amount of books that they started with. However, from the very beginning, the library project has been about one thing: improving academic achievement in schools. An analysis of book checkouts for all of Baltimore City public schools using the Destiny cataloging system shows that 10 of our library schools were in the top 15 schools for checkouts, including Thomas Johnson Elementary School, which was the #1 school in the district for book checkouts this past year. A 4-year analysis of those schools shows a 400% increase in book checkouts across the board. In total, when we include all 13 of our current library project schools, Students have checked out more than 60,000 books to take home with them, and that does not include school-based use for research, classroom projects, teacher use, you name it. In addition, we shared with you in January, we're measuring the impact of our spaces throughout the duration of the project. BERC, the Baltimore Education Research Consortium, in addition to a consultant with MDRC, conducted an evaluation which examined the first 9 library project schools. You can find the full report on both the Weinberg Foundation and the Library Project websites. But please allow us, just for a moment, to recap a few of the highlights. Reading fluency scores among 3rd grade students in 2 of the first library project schools increased from 33% of students at benchmark to 64% of students at benchmark, which is a 94% increase in reading fluency. We also saw that among all 3rd grade students, those at library project schools were almost 3 times as likely as students in comparison schools to meet proficiency standards. In short, the evaluation finds that the library project has proven to be a strong example of the power of public-private partnerships to leverage resources in order to benefit children in low-income communities. Stay tuned for more findings as the project continues to grow, as we are now on our 14th library. The Weinberg Foundation's commitment to education in Baltimore goes beyond just this initiative. Over just the past 4 years, the foundation has approved more than $28 million in Baltimore-focused education funding, including early childhood education, out-of-school time programs, summer programs, and libraries. This past summer, for example, 7 of the libraries already renovated as part of the Baltimore Library Project once again were buzzing with activities and continued learning. Now in its 4th year, Summer Reads is a drop-in literacy program that combines reading activities, free meals, and hands-on workshops for students across the city. It is a really fun program, you guys. Beginning in July, every Monday through Thursday, 7 of our libraries opened their doors and gave students and their families the chance to learn, read, play, and enjoy these renovated spaces. Over the course of the program, more than 300 students participated, and on July 17, 2017, Arlington Elementary Middle School recorded the highest attendance we've ever had at a summer read program, with 56 students in the library for a summer reads program. So just think about that, 56 kids running around the library and doing literacy activities together and with their teachers. It's really, really something awesome. Summer Reads participants were able to engage with organizations including Art with a Heart, the Aquarium on Wheels, Blue Water Baltimore, Code in the Schools, Future Makers, the Maryland Zoo, the Maryland SPCA, Playworks, and Young Audiences. And some of those organizations have representatives here today. So thank you so much for partnering with us on Summer Reads. In addition to exploring books, students were introduced to a variety of subjects from steel drums to the Chesapeake Bay through presentations and hands-on activities. Thank you to our incredible Summer Reads partners, Baltimore City Public Schools, for opening the buildings for this program, and Young Audiences for coordinating all of the partnerships, activities, and numerous other logistics day in and day out over this past summer. Your partnerships have given students the opportunity to learn and engage all summer long, and we are very, very grateful. Speaking of amazing partnerships, brand new libraries are wonderful, but they are even better when the community comes together to help fill the shelves with brand new books. This year, the 6th annual Community Book Drive in support of the Library Project raised more than $22,000, a record amount towards the purchase of brand new books for our schools. I'm very proud to say that our Library Project schools also put some work to fill the shelves today. Each year, students at current Library Project schools pay it forward by collecting pennies and other change donations, which are then used to purchase books at the year's new library. So kudos to our students in the library schools. 9 schools participated this year, including the winner, Commodore John Rogers Elementary Middle School, where students collected more than $1,100 in change. In total this year, students raised $3,400 for Library Project books in this library. It's pretty incredible. Over the past 5 years, these community-wide book drives have resulted in roughly $70,000 in donations total. That astounding number translates into more than 10,000 additional books on the shelves of these new libraries, all because of individuals and organizations who came together to support learning and literacy. So the Weinberg Library Project has also been fortunate to have incredible support at all levels of government, including City Hall. So please welcome Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh.
Rachel, we look forward to all the work that you will continue to do, and I wanted to also say to Kate, thank you for all that you've done, and to my sister friend, Rachel Monroe, thank you so much for all that you do on behalf of all of the citizens. Weinberg Foundation, I don't know if you all recognize what a great partner they are for Baltimore City and the state and the country, actually. Thank you. And let me take a moment to thank all of the partners in this effort, because it couldn't be done without all of you all participating. And I also wanted to acknowledge our school board members and our chair of the school board. Thank you for being here. And to our delegate and to our council person and the representatives, thank you all for being here as well. I'm really excited about this. It really is an honor to commemorate the 14th renovated library on behalf of the Weinberg Foundation. This elementary school represents what every school should be like in Baltimore City. You know, libraries hold a special place in my heart because my parents taught me how to read by the time I was 3, and I was always eager to read. And every Saturday morning, my parents took all 7 of their children on a walk to the library. And we would walk to the library, spend 2.5 hours, and then we could check out at least 2 books each. And we would just be thrilled to be able to come home and sit down and read them. As my parents used to say, books are the windows to the world. We get young people an opportunity to see beyond where they live and to experience what they don't even know. More than 1/3 of Baltimore's population under the age of 25. They are the boys and girls, young women and young men who will be the entrepreneurs, civic leaders, advocates, and educators to lead Baltimore into a brighter future. And reading books is a part of that. The journey begins with literacy, and we know that for decades the city has suffered from a illiteracy problem. And to have this kind of commitment bodes well for our city and for its future. The entire community has a responsibility to provide Baltimore students with a solid and sustainable education that teaches them that they can realize what they can imagine. And initiatives like this will help them to unlock their possibilities. Again, the model utilized in the Baltimore Library Project is really based on research from more than 60 studies, which have found that a well-equipped library staffed by a full-time certified librarian and appropriate support staff contributes to the significant learning of our students. And you could tell that by the data and the statistics that was shared with you just a few minutes ago. This library project is a commitment. It is a commitment on behalf of the Baltimore City Schools. It certainly is a commitment on behalf of the Weinberg Foundation and all of its partners. You've seen that more than 4,000 new books for the renovated library, plus 3 books for each student to take home for their personal collection. I think that deserves a round of applause. There's been more than $30,000 in technology, which includes e-readers, laptops, networking stations, and interactive projectors. The Maryland Food Bank, as you just heard, provides the young people with backpacks for food to take home. And you know, one of the things that we've done in Baltimore City is to make sure with all of our partners that we have programs that go beyond the school year. So what folks don't seem to understand in some cases is that many of our young people don't get healthy meals unless they're in school. And so we make sure that that happens year round. Again, I want to thank the Weinberg Foundation, its CEO, Rachel Monroe, I call her my sister, for sharing my high expectations for all of our Baltimore City School students. I am really enthusiastic about this footprint, about this project. I'm grateful for the 14th library. I look forward to the 15th, the 16th, the 17th, the 18th, the 19th. Whatever we need, Weinberg's always there for us, and you partners have helped to make it happen. Thank you again for all of you all being here. And I have the honor of introducing my partner, my friend, Dr. Sandalisis, who I believe is leading our children into a brighter future. Thank you.
I will say that to be able to serve in a city where the mayor, the leader of the city, understands the importance of literacy, one is not a given and should not be understated given the lift that we have. So I want to thank the mayor for that introduction as well. It is great to be here with you today, and so if you want to know why I was flipping through my phone, part of it was because I had to find a quote that I had memorized at one time, but I've gotten a little faulty with it, and it comes from one of my favorite books, and it is, "Oh Magic Hour, when a child first knows that she can read printed words," and that's from A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, which was published first in 1943. And part of why that quote always resonates with me is because it is a magic hour. And it should be a magic hour when young people understand the connection between text and their world. As the mayor referenced, it is about windows. It is about seeing beyond what you might know. And it should be a magic hour. And one of the things that makes the library project and partnership with Weinberg so special is the fact that these spaces, and I say this all the time, and I'm sure the Weinberg team and Rachel and Kate get tired of me saying this, but these spaces communicate to young people, each and every one of them, including this, the 14th, communicate to young people that it really is a magic hour when you read. It really is a time and a place where you can cuddle up with a book and go places you've never gone. You can go into a library and feel that you are connected to something beyond what you might see or what you might know. And what is always true about each and every Weinberg library is that the attention to the space communicates to young people their value as well as the value of reading. These spaces are bright, they're vibrant. I continue to say in all of my travels, these are some of the best libraries in any school, public, private, Northeast, Maryland, South, doesn't matter where you go. These are some of the most beautiful school libraries that I've had the privilege of witnessing. And it is, I believe, directly connected to the fact that the Weinberg Foundation, under the leadership of Rachel, and by the way, it was a little scary when you said 6.5 years, because I thought, oh my gosh, that time passed incredibly fast. And Kate, I'll just say another shout out. You've been fantastic during all of that time. But that Weinberg continues to really create spaces that communicate to kids that you're all our kids, right? That these are spaces that I believe that the staff here, the wonderful architects, where are my architect friends? Where are they? Oh, there you are. Okay. Just making sure I had to catch your eyes. Folks that are really careful. I've traveled halfway around the world with at least one of them. And I will tell you that the way that they think about the space is in a way that crafts and again reflects their commitment to the potential of young people in Baltimore City. And so I can't say thank you enough. And I will say that the timing of this particular dedication of the library is important because as city schools, one of the 3 pillars of our blueprint, which is our work for the next 3 to 5 years, is in fact literacy. And I got up early this morning to walk with an education leader from Australia who has led one of the largest increases in student achievement around the world. And one of the things that we spent the morning talking about was literacy. And we talked about the importance of kind of things that I know everyday people, when you say fluency, like that becomes educationese and it goes over people's heads. All fluency is your ability to read rapidly, confidently, right? And to go through text to really grab the meaning of it. So when somebody says fluency and they're an educator, don't let it fly over your heads. It just means that you can read at a great pace. And it means you understand what you're reading. And in order to do that, you have to have a lot of books at your disposal. you can't just become fluent if you only have access to 1 or 2 books. You have to have an amazing array of books. You have to be able, as the mayor referenced, to be able to take books home. You have to own books, right? And so what this really symbolizes is our commitment as a school system, and I want to thank Board Chair Kashani, Commissioner Hubbard for being here, because really what both the board and I have said is that we are putting a stake in the ground around literacy. If we can't get literacy right, then basically nothing else will move. And so Weinberg's commitment to libraries is absolutely in line and is fundamental to the work we're doing as a district. This is not some sidebar kind of commitment, a great project. It is a project that is part of the lifeline of what we believe the future of our school district, but most importantly, the future of the young people in Baltimore City contains. And then finally, I would just like to say a shout out to the Baltimore City Public Schools team. Under Dr. Lynette Washington, who just continually, over the past 6.5 years, has really worked to make sure that the bureaucracy that is unfortunately still sometimes can get in the way, that we work to cut through the red tape, that we work to make sure that it fits. And that is not, that's kind of the behind the scenes work that doesn't always get the glory, but is absolutely essential to all of us sitting here today. So I want to say a big thank you to Dr. Washington, to Keith Scroggins. I don't see Cindy here, but I just want to thank the city schools team for all of your work in partnering in really creative and authentic ways. And then I want to thank the librarians. And I got a chance to meet our librarian here, the library aide here, all of the librarians in Weinberg Libraries. Again, Weinberg doesn't do anything half-baked. They could just create space and say, thanks so much. It's been nice. What do? They actually have helped revitalize the librarian role within Baltimore City Public Schools. And so because of the training, because of the development, we remain committed. Regardless of budget cuts, what we found in a lot of our schools was that school leaders understood the value of libraries and school libraries. So we remain committed. I want to thank again Weinberg, the entire Weinberg team. I want to thank Cheryl and Rachel, and now we get a new Rachel to also work with. And looking really forward to this, and I'm glad we're only at 14 to 24 because I can't wait to do this 10 more times. So thank you again, and without further ado, will I turn it back to you? Great. And by the way, you're going to hear from the principal, and I just want to give a shout out to him, as I know is he coming? Oh, he's on jury duty. Okay. So he won't, see? Which is a real bummer for Principal Basmajian. I feel really bad about that. I feel badly, and I will say, give a shout out to former Principal McComas, who, just to show you the power of this school in the community, she is no longer the principal here. I just heard she will probably be an interim chief academic officer, but she came back today because she cares about this school and this work. So thank you again.
Yes, so Principal Basmajian is on jury duty in the wacky world of libraries. That we were notified of that on Monday, and so we've rolled with that. And that is why I would love to introduce Jen Katz, the PTO president, who will speak on behalf of the school. And she will also be introducing 2 students from the school who will be speaking to us also. So.
Oh my gosh, thank you for this opportunity, although I'm so sorry that Principal Basmajian is not here this morning. He asked me to say a few words on his behalf. Mostly thank yous to people in the community, but I just wanted to start out by saying that I have 3 girls here at FSK, 5th grade, 2nd grade, and pre-kindergarten. I was an English major, and I'm a lawyer, and I understand the importance of reading and what that can do for a young person. And so it's just, I audibly gasped when I walked in here this morning, and tears sprang to my eyes, and I saw tears in the eyes of some of the parents here as well. And it's just an amazing, amazing space. So of course we have to thank Weinberg and Kate in particular. I think it was borderline stalking how many emails we've sent you over the past few years. This is just incredible. Thank you so, so much. And of course our elected leaders who helped us
obtain all the funding that we needed for this space. Mostly, I have to thank Brooke Learman, who has just been an incredible partner. She is amazing. Thank you so much, Brooke. And then to our community members who don't even have students here but have dedicated so much of their time, I have to thank Hap Duffy, who is just amazing community member and friend and advocate for this school and for this library in particular. Thank you, Hap. And then to my predecessors, Kate Williams and Marina Anglum, who are both here, who worked tirelessly to make this dream of ours a reality. And I'm so thrilled she's here. I have to thank Mary McComas, who was our leader and guided us through the beginning phases of this process. So thank you so much. And now I will invite up our students to come and join us. Come on up, guys. These are some of the brilliant students that FSK has to offer our city and our world. So thank you so much.
It was a little high. Okay. Thank you. My bad, a little short. Hello, my name is Russell Young, and I'm currently an 8th grader here at Francis Scott Key. And next year, I plan on attending Polytechnic. And I just want to say good morning to all the distinguished guests here, and welcome to Francis Scott Key. And I know everybody's excited for the new library. I am also. And I'm really excited because for a while, this library wasn't the greatest. And now the Weinberg partners, they helped us out and gave us a nice, beautiful library. I'm a little nervous. And then I'm glad we can have access to new books and all these resources, like all these brand new computers and stuff like that. And thank you.
Hi, my name is London Hill, and I will be reading a poem by Jane Basquill, and it's called An Open Book. Open a book and you will find people and places of every kind. Open a book and you can be anything you want to be. Open a book and you can share wondrous worlds you find in there. Open a book and I will too. You read to me and I'll read to you.
All right, thank you so much, and don't worry about it, Russell, because that's probably a better height for me too. So, 1 second, let me get this all. All right, so I want to thank very much the mayor, Catherine Pugh, Dr. Santaluces, and Jen Katz. And we would love to show you a video of us revealing the library for the first time to our second graders here at Francis Scott Key. Please enjoy.
Been waiting a long time just to see what it's gonna look like.
What grade are you guys in?
7th.
You know why second grade is really special today?
Because they get to go to the library.
Because you get to go into the library. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Smiles, joy, kids are grabbing books.
Here! It's right here!
It is genuine excitement.
Our library used to be very old, but this is awesome!
The space, the amount of books, the amount of titles, the furniture, the air, the Wi-Fi, like all those things that we take for granted is not always in Baltimore City Schools. So having that here is a space that they deserve.
I'm gonna read that one.
There's so many books and options for them to choose.
Check out this comic.
It just helps us feel excited about our school and coming here. You know, the excitement for reading and even infusing technology into this library is amazing. Amazing.
We'll have about 12 laptops that they'll be able to use and access daily. 35 Nooks where they'll be able to read and download some apps. we'll get into things like maker spaces and 3D printers. So this is really becomes like the hub of the school in terms of innovation and creativity. It's about the kids, it's about learning, it's about growing, it's about curiosity, it's about excitement, and Weinberg nails that.
I love everything about it too.
Thanks to the Weinberg Foundation for making this happen, people coming together and creating something so spectacular.
Many have too.
It's a great way, I think, to bring Francis Scott Key, community, kids, teachers all together to really celebrate the love of learning.
So I saw one of the young women in that video this morning, and she just goes, "I remember you." I was like, "I remember you too. Hope you like the library." So we had the library totally blocked off during construction. It was a construction zone. We didn't want anyone to peek, although I'm sure a few people did. So that was the kids seeing it for the first time, and it was really, really fun to experience that with them. And we're excited to have all of Francis Scott Key students in this library over the next however many years. It'll be really great. I want to thank Francis Scott Key's principal, Corey Besnajian. I'm really sorry he can't be here, but in his AP, Mr. French, and of course our amazing team, JMT, JRS, Kirk Designs. These libraries wouldn't happen without all of you, so if you could just wave so that everyone can know how amazing and awesome you are, that would be great. And this evening, we're excited, Heart of America Foundation are wonderful partners, and they will be doing family and student tours of the libraries, and students will be taking home 3 new books in bags that look just like this, and they will get to take them home and keep them, which is really awesome, so that they can start building their libraries at home too. So before we go, we have one more item to take care of, and that is announcing next year's library project school. So can we have a drum roll? And it is James McHenry Elementary Middle School on South Schroeder Street in Holland's Market. So James McHenry's principal, Chris Turk, I'm sure is over there by that whale drawing back in the corner, but he should wave. And if that name sounds familiar, that is because he was the principal at George Washington Elementary Middle School, which we opened last year. So we're excited to have him at another library project school. He's an amazing leader, and we're happy to have him be in another library project school. So we know that principals love the library project, but we never thought they'd start changing schools just to be a part of it. So congratulations to Chris and his whole team at James McHenry. And that does conclude today's celebration. We hope you will join us in the hallway for some refreshments. They're not allowed in the library, as I'm sure some of you heard earlier. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for being here.